Obamacare has been with us for over 3 years now, and some people are all of a sudden being shocked by the sticker price that they're finding right now. And joining us is Danny O'Connell, health insurance expert. And Danny, I don't think a lot of supporters of Obamacare expected to see what's happening right now.
No, that's correct, and it's tough out there. You know, we work with individuals, employers, employees, and you go out there and you meet with people and you explain the benefits, and you've got people that didn't want it, and then you got people that were all for it, and, you know, they feel like they got jilted there, that they didn't get what they were promised.
Danny, the people that are paying the Obamacare rates are paying for those that aren't paying for it. Am I correct?
Well, it's pretty complex in that you've got 26 different tax increases outside of Obamacare that everybody's paying, that's helped paying this system. But then when you go in, the rates that you're paying are really based off of this new rating system they came up with, community rating, which basically assumes that everybody has health issues, whether you do or you don't. So if you're healthy, you're not penalized for that.
Well, and you know, if you do have good insurance, or supposedly the Cadillac insurance that we were told that if you're gainfully employed that you typically have, are you paying more in that instance too? I know that I feel like I am.
So the cheap kind of knee-jerk reaction is to say, yeah, the group plan typically is going to cost you more from a premium standpoint. However, with that being said, on the individual policies, you typically have much smaller networks. More providers are hesitant or do not accept those individual policies. And, you know, a lot of times you can deduct that premium cost that you pay on your group plan. So the net effect often is you get a much better network and you do have the deductibility of premiums on that group plan.
Are they still hassling with insurance companies over this?
Specifically, who are you referring to when you're talking about
I just know the insurance companies, for the most part, weren't in favor of affordable care, the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare as we call it, and I'm just wondering what their reaction is now.
Well, you just see so many people getting out of the market. I mean, even in Texas, you're left with just a handful of carriers. The majority have gotten out of the market, which means less competition, which means when you've got one carrier that has a really bad year and takes on a bunch of risk and has a lot of losses, their premiums are obviously going to increase. So then all that risk is going to move to the other carrier, and it's going to bounce back and forth. So you do have to be aware every open enrollment period, whether you get individually or through your employer, you know, of those changes and those increases.
The increases are coming because the insurance companies took a bath, I understand. They lost a lot of money, but then they were compensated by the government, right?
Well, not necessarily. They did take a bath, and each pool in each state kind of runs differently. So, for example, Blue Cross Blue Shield in Texas took a $400 million loss on 367,000 enrolled people. And they're paying in excess over the premium that they took in, and they were only supposed to pay out 85 cents on the dollar is what they're mandated to pay out. So they're way over that. So then you come in and you see all these changes to plans, these hidden increases, if you will. And secondly, you know, I don't think anybody calculated, or maybe they did know and just didn't advertise it, that as your premiums continue to go up, are my subsidies going to go in line with those increases?
There are those who feel that this was done intentionally, that the Affordable Care Act was just a gateway to a single payer system, or totally socialized medicine. Do you buy into that?
I do. When you sit there and study and go through the law, there's no point in reference anywhere that you can point to and say, wow, that's going to lower the cost of our health care. You've got two different things, the cost of health care and the cost of insurance. That's a cause and effect relationship. And the model that's built that we're working in now is just simply unsustainable over time.
Now, do you think if the Republicans win the presidency and, we see a change of heart in the Congress, do you think they will perhaps repeal Obamacare, or are we too deep in it for that to happen?
I definitely think there'd be changes. If you got a sweeping Republican House, Congress, White House, I think you would see a repeal. The reality is the one key central person in all this is the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services. They're the one, whoever is appointed that position has more control over your health care than anybody, because the way the law is written is subject to the discretion of the Secretary. So they can come in and make these changes just at will.
And at least they would then be able to stop socialized medicine taking over entirely, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they could get in there and make a lot of needed changes. This thing changes now probably monthly. We were at a point that it was changing weekly, it seemed like, in the first year. Now it's monthly, and there are just a lot of little changes that you don't even hear about going on. So hopefully we'll continue to have changes and progress in the right direction for the American people.
Well, Danny, do you have a website that people can get more information from you on?
We certainly do. It's www.brg-tx.com. That's BRG as in Benefit Resource Group. And we do business in all 50 states.
-TX as in Texas.com.
You got it.
Thank you, Danny O'Connell, our health insurance expert.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Danny.
Danny.
All right. Thank you.